This is a one by the late great Blaze Foley. It's called Cold, Cold World. I've tried for a long time, but I think I can't win. I'd do it all better if I could do it again. Wherever I'm going is the same place I've been. Ain't it a cold, cold world? Outside it was hot, but inside I was cold. The eyes of the young met the eyes of the old, and what they were thinking I'll never be told. Ain't it a cold, cold world? Then an old lady asked me about the new daylight time. I said it don't matter, and she said I don't mind. And the bus driver said you still owe me a dime. Ain't it a cold, cold world? Well, I can't get no job and I can't get no rest. I started out east, but I ended up west. I'm still glad to be here, I'm sure I would get. Ain't it a cold, cold world? I've tried for a long time, but I think I can't win.
Howdy, everybody. It is Saturday on the Frontier. Let's bring that down just a little bit. There we go. Hope you're all having a good day. We are going to set off on a new adventure here on Farthest Frontier today. Learning some things, learned from some mistakes I made and some of the work I did to improve. So we got a new map ready to go. We got our city down, or our town center down. So now the next step is to get started clearing trees, clearing rocks. Let me get these guys going, and then I'll kind of give you an idea of what I saw on this map and why I chose it. Second here to get all these trees marked that we want to cut down. And then our initial food production, we need our first hunter, which we're going to put right over here by the deer. And then we are going to go ahead and get our first woodcutter down. Put him right over here. Food-wise, do we have enough There are a few things that will make a forager worth it, I think. So we'll put the forager over here for now. All right. Cool. And we're off. Let's see if that's any better. Trying to deal with a little bit of background noise, so just tinkering with my mic settings, so bear with me for a second here. There we go. All right, so we're off and running early on. We got the first few trees in place. Get our first few items going and figure out what we need to do to get ourselves started. So I picked this map. There's some good farmland, lots of good resources. There is a coal deposit because we'll have a ton of iron. We are going to get ourselves rocking and rolling as quick as we can. All right, so that opens up our view a little bit. Well, that didn't take long. Wonderful start. And more people are going to lose to this guy. We just lost half of our freaking town to a wolf. Fantastic. Oh well. Nothing like a ridiculous start to the day, which now forces us to build a graveyard fairly early. Chopping wood. Let's get building that. Man, that's a tough start. It'll slow us down a little bit, but it's okay. We're not in any hurry. And it's nothing that we can't deal with. Just means we'll have to be a little bit more methodical here at the start, as we deal with the large amount of people that we lost. The graveyard's up. Forager cabin is up. First villager died. No surprise there, unfortunately. But at least they can get put into the graveyard. We will not aggressively grow right out of the bat. We're going to be forced to deal with the fact that we're down some people. 9 of them. From a start of 12. usually means that we should get some better immigration in, hopefully. Now we're getting the rock. We need to build wells. So we'll get those on the map to be built. The wolf problem's going to be interesting. Let's do a little scouting. I'm going to try not to lose anybody here, but at enough of a distance, we may be able to deal with this wolf carefully. All right. There's one. I'm guessing there's a wolf den around there somewhere. But we'll keep an eye on it. All right, houses are going up. Vital to get those going. Then we're going to need to take a little time to get our wood supply built up. Greens and berries, that'll be important early on, especially. I know there's a housing shortage. I'm building as fast as I can, game. Give me a break here, man. Give me a break here, man. We've got the supplies in place. It's just a matter of getting rolling. Cut those trees down. All right. Houses are almost built. Wells are almost built. At which point then we can start to hopefully... Really? Right there? Good God. Nope, we ain't doing that. I ain't dealing with that. Too stressful to have a raider camp sitting right on top of us like that. It's going to be a while before we have military, and then it cuts off an entire part of the map to us. And I'm not in the mood to deal with that. So streamer's prerogative. I'm not going to deal with it. I'll make a minor adjustment too to where we start. We're going to start here. So we're a little closer to that farmland. Okay, there's a raider camp down there. That's fine. We can deal with that. Alright, let's try this again. Clear out some of these dead trees. Food production to get started. We're gonna need to get cranking. Put them over there. We'll put a forager not too far away. All right, here we go. Let's try again after that little bit of a false start. A little quicker early on. Excellent. Now. Get our housing plans underway. I know we don't have firewood because we don't have a firewood cutter yet. You need to give me a second. Resources. Get a well in place to get started. Go after the greens and stuff first. Over there. Now, what I am going to do different than what I've done in other games is how I handle my farming. We're going to operate under the go big or go home mentality here very quickly. Alright, chop, chop, chop. Get those fields going. Got wood in place. Yes, I know, we need one. We're getting there. Only got so many people. Prioritize that well. Okay. A little bit better initial setup here. Let's get our first storage yard in place. Going to need that. Get them working on that. Alright, they're chopping some stone finally now. That'll help. We've got lake water, but well water's cleaner. So the early goal is to get this field up. We need to create a food surplus. We create a food surplus, we can bring people in a lot faster. And if we bring people, then we can be much more successful at growing the town and getting to a stable sort of starting point population, which is the goal initially. But we need some stone, so we're gonna have to prioritize a little bit of stone here. We've got a little backlog of wood. I want to get that well up because I want to get our first smokehouse going as well. Just putting down a fair amount of projects to get us started. That should keep everybody busy for a little bit. Between field work and building. Plenty to clear. So we do have more room for deer. Expansion, we got a goodie hut over here, which will be nice to grab once we get settled. Fishing. our first knowledge generation, which we are going to use to make knowledge generation faster. I always feel like that's a good start. Alright, they took that predator out. Nice. Teamwork makes the dream work. Alright, we're going to pause that so that I can get my workers back onto the city to finish these projects, and we will finish up the field in the spring. We made some good progress, though. At least got it in place, got it started, but we need to get stone and other things set up and houses built. We need that well built. Just a few projects I need done. Storage, things like that, just to get us in a little better place here at the start of the game. Lots of dead trees we can clear out, lots of other stuff we can clear out. Good. Okay. What is my forger up to? Contemplating. Why don't you contemplate over here on this stuff? Meat is spoiling. I knew that would happen early. That's okay. We'll get this guy going soon. Well's finally being built. That was a priority. Good. Well's up. Plenty of stone around to get started, which is good. Shouldn't have too much problem. It's just a matter of time. And giving them a chance to work on this stuff. That's our winter projects. Stone and finishing up that stuff. We got firewood, which is good. We are a little behind on wood supply, but I knew that would happen. That's okay. This can actually pause for the time being. Don't need that one up yet. This one's going to be the priority. Alright, so now we can start smoking our meat, which will help immensely. It's sort of that first stage of dealing with food supply. Shut down that cabin. 3 more immigrants came in. That's a big help. First step, though, is the weather. Nothing we can really do until this weather chills out a little bit. No pun intended. Warms up really would have been a better statement to make, but it's okay. Another group coming in. Wow, we're getting a huge influx of people. Question is, will I need to build more houses? Probably. So let's prepare for that contingent. See? I don't have to build them just yet, but I want them placed. Too cold to work again, so we wait. But when the weather hits, it really does handcuff you. Basically shuts everything down, understandably. It's cold. Yeah, I don't want my villagers dying, so... Alright. So now they can finish working that stone, get more wood. We are going to put up another hunter. As your number 2 arrives. We're going to increase our farmer fieldwork speed. Bring that back online because it is time to get going on that field. Got ourselves a little bit of room on the wood supply, which is good. They're clearing that for us. Don't need a massive amount of stone, but I do want a little bit of stone surplus to have early on. And then we'll make sure we have enough later. Alright, so he can hunt over here. In good shape on that. Pigs. Make sure these stones are on the radar to get. Won't need them right away. There is more over here in the hills, I believe, so we'll be fine on that front. We have plenty of willow, which is nice. There are a couple of herb patches over there too. We knock these out, unfortunately. But we need the farmland. Nothing to be done for it. Nothing to be done for it. So this is the start of our new city, Penguin Town. We are cruising along. Good start. We've almost got our first field going here, which is one of my first big goals. We've got a reasonably stable early game food setup going, which is good. Let's shift our forager over here. Our hunters are working. We got a wood supply started. We got a healthy supply of firewood. All right, I like where we're at early. Field's almost ready to go. It's going to tax our labor early on, but it's going to be worth it because we're going to be able to get people much faster having a bit of a fundamental, or a bit of a, excuse me, a foundation of food supply. Unit widgets. All right, so let's pause for a second. We're going to start out with pretty heavy on that, and then we are going to go work peas on the first field, work peas. So that'll be our initial setup. We're going to run into problems with these deer. I accidentally turned my resources off. Why would you ever want to do that? This is some like ultimate challenge. Alright, so we're going to drop this down to 6 people. That should be enough to handle that field. Gets us 2 people back into the labor pool. At the moment, we're just going to have them cut trees. We're going to slowly start this process. I don't want to blow through all my wood, so I'm going to put a quota of 200 and then 150 on the firewood early. Put a second person in there so they can get it done a little faster. Okay. We're in pretty good shape. Probably enough where we can consider fishing soon. fisherman over here. First part of that fence is done. Now we can do part 2. And also go ahead and activate a house. Alright, it's a good start for fishing. As we approach our second winter, we are in pretty good shape. Starting to get some villagers born, which is nice. Trees, bushes. I just want any stone. Mark those just so they're on here. And you know what? Let's go ahead and turn that on. If they've got time to get to it, they will. If not, that's okay. We're a little tight on labor. But I also have that fence going, so that's part of the reason it's like that. Alright, no food allowed in there. Let's go ahead and take the next step on this side of things. Build our storage house, storeyard, storehouse. And that will allow us to begin to work on industry. I think we're getting in the ballpark of being able to handle. These medicinal roots. We're also going to do cleanliness. That'll help for the inevitable disease breakouts that will happen at some point. All right. We're in decent shape here. Let's move these blueberry bushes, which if you didn't know, you can move blueberry bushes. Move them a little closer in to houses. We can quickly say, hey, grab those, and then they're right next to us. It's worth a little bit of an expenditure of energy to take care of that. Alright, that winter project is going good. The next stretch of fencing. Go in. First, we're going to get through the cold. Alright. But I don't want any meat stored in here, any of the raw meat stored in here. Try to force it by the as much as possible by the smoker. Okay. First things first. Let's scoop out these goodies. Laborers are pretty tied up with that road and that fencing at the moment. Begin the process of building up the saw pit. Finish up that road. And finish fencing in that field. Now we can start getting our food up, get another increase, build another field, and roll from there. Let's turn our attention over here. Grab those resources. Okay. What I'm trying to do, as I mentioned, is get food surplus. If I can get a big food surplus going, I can bring in people faster. And faster people and obviously means faster growth. And a bit of a healthier town to start out. We just kind of got to work our way through some of the challenges of the early city life here. We're doing good. Happy with our progress. We're just really low on labor right now, but that's because we got so much going on. Fence project is eating up a lot of our focus right now, which I knew it would early. There's no way around it. With those deer spawns so close, we needed to make sure we protect our fields. It's worth it in the long run. Awesome. Pretty happy with where we're at. I know we're low on labor. There's nothing I can do about it. That fence is almost done. When that's done, that's going to help free up some labor and time here. Okay, that project's done. Nice. So with that done, now we can really begin thinking about industry here sooner rather than later. And also pushing our way into tier 2. Our laborers force back up to 9 with the fence done. Let our wood supply build back up for a little bit. And that's good. We need another house just to be proactive on that front. Weed level and rockiness is down, which is great. Forager explore over there for a few minutes, see what they can find. Okay. We're gonna need a well for our tanner. So we'll put that in there. And then we're gonna put the tannery here next to it. Since no one wants to live next to a tannery. Start making coats. Our first planting going in. Nice. Oop, drought. Great timing. Right in the middle of our first planting season. Immigration coming in. Good, good, good. I'll move these a little bit. That's why I'm doing this. Terraforming. Flatten things out just a slight bit. And then I'm going to relocate that up the hill. And we're going to relocate them up the hill. And we will shift that there. And our industry, our clean industry will sort of fill in that space. Also to do a teeny bit of exploring. Just see what we can see. Figure out if there's any raider camps over here. Which I feel like inevitably there will be. Over there. Alright. Get these projects shifted. More good farmland over here. There is that.
Will do.
Get back, get back, get back. Remove that flag. Good farmland, but we'll have to deal with them at some point to get to it. Still a fair amount this way, too. Another goody hut over there. Nice. That flag out. All right. So, see, 18 food. It's going to spoil because a lot of it's those beans. They won't last as long. We don't have a way. We're a long ways away from food preservation. But in order to get immigration in this game, the key is food. And we are going to be having food aplenty as we have fields going. Relocate that there. And then put a road right there. Okay, there's another group over there. That's fine. Whatever. We knew there would be a couple. Pull that flag out. We don't need to go that way right now. We got a lot of room to grow this way, which is nice. Alright, time for our first market. Got the boards to do it, so we're going to go ahead and get a market down. Then the next thing will be a Fletcher, because we're going to run out of air, we already have. So we need to get a Fletcher building down as well. Or else we are going to be unable to hunt, which would be a massive problem for us. Got a third person in there. In fact, I'm going to pause that because I want the Fletcher building first. Right now, I can't help but feel like that's going to be more important for us in the short term. So I want to make sure we're set up the right way. And we'll recover those boards fairly quickly, so I'm not super worried about that. Nice. Five bows, but we want 2-to-1 arrows. For now, I think 200 is probably fine. We'll let the Fletcher get to work. We can go ahead and bring the market back online. Let's begin. Don't need that just yet. Let's cut trees a little quicker and turn on spotter. Spotter is great. See more. A much better view of what's going on. Cool. Next step is going to be probably go ahead and get to tier 2. But we need to let our board supply build up to do that. There's a big influx of people. Alright, let's build some more houses. That immediately helps in terms of we won't run out of arrows, which means we won't run out of the hunting. Field's in really good shape. 15 people. All right, I think it might be safe to consider another field. We're going to do it this way. All right. Clothes and cleanliness. Okay, we need another well over this way, which is fine. Don't mind that. Put that in there. Prioritize that well. So we'll have clean water. Get those goody huts collected. All right, now the wait is on for 60 planks. At 60 planks, we'll go to tier 2 and begin figuring out our next steps. It's a good haul. Tools are huge. Arrows are nice. The weapons are nice. You can collect that stuff and bring it in. Let's do that. Increase what our forager can bring in. It's okay, we got a lot going on. Got more peas growing. We're going to need night soil too here very soon. We don't want it near houses, so we're going to put it over here, I believe. More projects to work on. Add another hunter over that side. Year 4. Alright, let's let our city catch up a little bit. Tier 2, here we come. Yeah. So that'll begin to open up some a whole lot for us. I'm hunting over here. They're asking for a school, which we knew would happen, but we've got some time before we're going to get to that. We still got to start making shoes soon. Yeah, I know we're low on labor. It's okay. We're building a field. We're building fencing. Lots of food surplus, which is what we wanted. Winter project. It's definitely going to be finishing up this fencing. Yeah, I know. We're getting there. Let's prioritize that. The fence can wait. The poop cannot. Can't stop the poop. How many poop jokes can we work in? The poop must flow. Ew, that's just gross. That's just gross. All right. We'll add that in. Let's increase our plank speed a little bit. The long cold of winter. And the cold finally breaks. That will get help with cleanliness for the time being. Shoes are still okay. So we can probably... Oh, fire. That's not good. We need to build our wagon shop. Oh dear. Put the fires out. Get the market fire out. Come on, people. That would have been horrible. Crisis averted. And some more tools, some pottery, that's good. The clothes and the pottery. That's awesome. Very happy with that. Let's go ahead and get that goody hut taken care of. A bit low on the wood. This means... our first work camp in place. Crap, we're gonna run out of wood. Good news, the fencing work is done. Wagons built. get our first clay pit land. Just in a tight spot on wood right now, but I knew we would be for a little bit. Um, 3 to 1, mature trees only. Alright, we're at a catch-up point now, where we need to give this city a little time to settle in. I'm going to pull one person off the planks and slow down a little bit on that. All right. They've got plenty to do. Spirituality. So they want a temple. Does that cost us again 100 gold for a month? Yeah, we can afford to do that. Good. They're back chopping trees. All those goodie huts are collected. Trading post is going to have to be soon as well. Ooh, and a trading post would be the next two big things to deal with. But we're going to use a little time and a little bit of wood to handle that. Which we will. Baskets. As well. Resource. Where's my basket shop? Let's get a basket shop set up. We should have a ton of willow stored up. Yeah, we've got a ton. So we can definitely get baskets cranking. I don't need any of those policies. We're good and stable at this point. I'm happy with where we're at. We eventually want to make sure we don't have these fields coming in at the same time. That leads to rot. fact, we can probably start next season. Let's do this. Let's do turnips. And some maintenance. Turnips, carrots, turnips and peas on that field. And then on this field, we're going to do maintenance. And we'll do cabbage. And then turnips, fallow, peas. Cabbage. See how that works. All right. So we're weaving baskets. We're creating food surplus. We've got a market. We're collecting clay, which will allow us to build our first school. And we can probably consider a trading post very soon as well. What are we like on labor? We're still in good shape. Trading post. We're going to put it here. Actually, we're going to do this. We're going to shift. No, I just built it, but we're going to shift these buildings up this way a little bit. And then we'll put the trading post right next to that. I think that'll work better in terms of stocking and space management. We do need to build more houses. Okay. Get through this winter, get a trading post up, and I think that will be a good stopping point for this session. So next year will be that, and then that. I should mix it up enough. Alright. Nice. Trading post. Built. switch the direction. We've got more housing. We've got food. We are in year 6. We're cranking right along. Need to build another forager. More knowledge to spend. Let's increase our mining speed and fertility loss from plants. Now that we're farming more aggressively. Immigration. First traders on the way. They're selling, buying nothing we have. Selling nothing we immediately need. Bummer. It's okay. Long process ahead. We're almost ready to build the school. Another trader coming in. Maybe we'll have better luck with them. Slow things down just for a little bit. This first trader season looked at, and then I think we'll pause for the moment. Stone, honey, weapons. What are you selling? Medicine. Well, that's a disappointing first trader season. Nothing to sell, nothing to buy. Not that we have any money anyways, but... Alright, well, we can put them back to work because we don't need them right now. Cool. So while we save, let's recap everything real quick. Thanks for watching. This is Inquisitor Penguin. I play Farthest Frontier, play Arc Raiders, play some other stuff, but that's my big 2 games. Appreciate you watching. Be sure to follow me here on Twitch, follow me on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, and on Blue Sky. So you can find me all over that for information on what's going on with the stream. We'll get back to our normal schedule next week, Monday through Friday morning and the early afternoon. Now the holidays finally coming to a close. But until then, thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. Penguin out.
Ain't it a cold, cold world? Thank you.